Hello Taurus, welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me. If you're a returning subscriber, thanks for coming back. If you are new, then please don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you enjoy the reading. It's a general reading. I work with the 12 houses of the zodiac. So as the cards are appearing in each house, then those are the influences that are coming to bear at this time. So in the first house, we have the air element communicating. So your first house is the house of yourself, your appearance, your vitality, your physical body, exactly how you look. It's also how you are perceived by others. So it's your personality, your characteristics, and it's also how you project yourself outward to other people. So what you are projecting is also going to be perceived by them. So that all comes under the first house. It's also your self-oriented interests, whether this is a physical activities or just everything to do with yourself. Okay, so now with air element communicating coming in there, this is, you may be wanting to initiate something in this house, or you need to be making some kind of decision. It really depends on how you are using the energies. But if you are approaching something and you need to just weigh it up, then this is telling you to think things through before taking action. Mull it over in your mind, weigh it up, use your reasoning abilities, and do everything you can so that you can clearly see what needs to be done. You may also need to put down in words what it is that you want, because that's a really powerful action from your thoughts into actual words and then writing. You're going to need to be honest with yourself and honest with others as well. Yeah, this card may also bring in the energy of you having to be inventive in some way. So whether this is reinventing yourself or how you communicate with others or how you appear to others or just your appearance in general, or how you are projecting yourself outwards, possibly just the way you are communicating, and also the way you are moving forward in the world. So it's your personal independence. So you may be changing that up as well. And you could also be just feeling young or looking younger, or your energy is high, or you may just be feeling youthful or have a youthful outlook, or you are wanting to bring those aspects into your life. So you may be needing to change things up in order to feel more youthful, or to examine your attitudes to see if you can perhaps broaden your mind a little bit and have a more outgoing outlook. This can all come in for you. This card is also the card of manifestation. So your self-talk, how you talk to yourself, so what you think and what you say really needs to be positive at this time, because then that is what you're going to manifest. And it's a habit that you need to develop. It doesn't come easily at first. It's actually quite difficult to maintain that every day. So it's something that you have to work on. But once you start doing it and you are aware of what you're saying and what you're thinking, then you can very easily steer it in the correct direction. So yeah, it's really it's what you think and what you say is what you're going to create with this card. Then in the second house, we have Cancer, I feel. So this is a feeling card. It's ruled by the moon. So the second house deals with your income, your money that's coming in. And it also deals with your possessions, what you own. And this can be property as well. It's also your self-worth, your sense of self-worth, and your value systems. So what you value. So what you value in yourself, what you value in others, what you value in your material possessions, any kind of value system. And this also obviously is linked in some ways to money, your money coming in. So with Cancer, I feel, as I said, it's ruled by the moon. So things are cyclical. Things go through phases. So whether this is your money coming in, perhaps you going through ups and downs or through different types of phases and cycles. Yeah, so this could also be Perhaps you have an interest with the stock market, which is ruled by the moon. Perhaps you can study that further and track when it's opportune to buy and when it's opportune to sell and so on. So that's all to do with money and utilizing your money efficiently. But just be aware that there will be cycles and changes going on. So things will be changeable in that area. This could also just be about you following your feelings as well, going with your gut feels. You might find that emotion is high at this time for some reason in this house. Perhaps money is tight and you have issues that you need to deal with, or something to do with that. But emotion could be high. You could also just be really, really sensitive at this time. Feeling so sensitive in some cases that you may just need to withdraw periodically to keep yourself balanced. But it's also about being resilient. So when you have cyclical money issues, or where you're riding the waves with that, you do have to be resilient to keep yourself going. So put whatever measures you need to in place to deal with that. This could also be to do with moods. So, you're monitoring your moods, because this also affects your self-worth and it affects your values as well. You could also be wallowing in a few memories, or issues from the past, or things that happened in the past. You can look at them, examine them, and then let them go, but you mustn't live there. You can't live in the past. You can only live in the present. You may also just be feeling a little bit alone periodically. Perhaps you're grappling with various types of issues and feeling a little bit alone. There could also be domestic issues of some sort which are requiring attention. You could have a mother or a maternal figure involved with this card, or women and women's issues, how women get along. All of those may come in with this card. Also having old-fashioned views. So perhaps that needs to be changed up a little bit, or just adjusted slightly to move with the times. And you could also be, if you're thinking about memories in the past, or you're dealing with things from the past, it could be in connection with buying and selling items from the past. So this would be antiques and things like that. This could also come into this house. So it's really very much to do with money, but also your self-worth and your values, what you own. Then in the third house, we have part of fortune increase. So this is a lovely card to be having in this house. It's a lovely card to have anywhere. So in this house, the third house is the house of communication. So this is all forms of communication, whether it's written, verbal, it could even be your body language. It's however you communicate, or it could also be communication coming in to you. So this communication can be with the wider public or with people in general, but it's also to do with specific family members. So this can be cousins, siblings, aunts and uncles, and also neighbors can come in with this. So it's also the house of short trips, local trips. So now with this, it may also be covering issues to do with documents and contracts, because that's written. So anything of the written word that comes to you at this time. With the part of fortune increase, it's a very fortunate aspect to be having. It indicates good flow. It indicates success is coming. It indicates benefits of some kind coming to you. They may just fall in your lap, in fact. It also is a very good card for anything to do with public relations and promotional work. So it's very favorable conditions for that. So harness that if you can to really get things done and to get your points across. It's a destiny and a fate card. So there could be karmic triggers which trigger things for you, and there could be good things for you. Whether this is stirring your own particular talents and abilities which you haven't really harnessed as yet, something will stir them to action. And these are talents and gifts that you have that have just not really been used or not been acknowledged for some reason. And you may need to study and learn further to harness those talents and gifts. It could also be teaching of some kind. So it's really getting communication across in some way towards others. You're basically going to be moving ahead with this card in this house, and that success will come to you, and there will be benefits coming to you in conjunction with this, because it's destiny and fate as well. Then in the fourth house, we have fire element desire. So your fourth house is your house of home, your physical home, the actual structure, but also the atmosphere in your home and the people in your home. So it's also the relationship that you have with your particular foundation, your roots, your ancestry, where you've come from, your foundation. It's your relationship with that. Now, with the fire element desire coming in, this is about getting started, taking action on something new. This is about finding the courage to do that, and also the passion to do that. So in whatever way that comes in for you in the fourth house. It could also be a change in direction, a sudden change of direction. Whether you're intent on living in a specific place and then you change your mind and you go for something else. It could also very well be quick changes of some kind. So you may have an epiphany or a wake-up call of some kind as well, which stirs you into action. And that may be in the direction of your dreams or in the directions of something that you've been mulling over and wanted to do, but you suddenly find the courage and the wherewithal to get it done. You may, if it's to do with somebody in your home, you may have to take assertive action with someone to get clear, to put your cards on the table and get clear about everything, to clear the air. That may need to be done. You may also need to just protect your interests in some way as well. Maybe there's influences in your home which don't have your best interests at heart. So just be aware of that. If you're redoing your home in some way, or you're changing your home in some way, you can bring in the warmth and the fiery element into your home. So those are the colors associated with that. Make your home warm and welcoming. And associated with that is anything to do with fire, and also electrical things and anything in the kitchen. So just be aware that some issues may arise to do with that as well. Perhaps something you didn't expect may come in for you. Then in the fifth house, we have Aquarius, I know. Your fifth house is the house of your creativity, creative projects that you may be working on, or your own personal creativity with whatever you do. It's not necessarily artistic. This can be in the way you speak, or the way you dress, or the way you conduct yourself, or the way you dress your house for parties or your dinner tables. There's lots of ways that creativity can come in. And it's also the house of children, whether they are your children or children that you are associated with. It's the house of love affairs. A love affair, and it's also the house of activities of all kinds. This is fun, recreational activities or risk-taking activities like gambling or stock exchange, that sort of thing. All comes into the fifth house. So now, with Aquarius, I know Aquarians are futuristic by nature. So you may be facing one or two challenges in this house in some way, but it's also about glimpses of the future or trends or technology of some kind. So whether this is through your creative projects or or your children, perhaps your children are involved in something, but it's basically glimpses of the future in some way. It could even be science fiction. You could also be doing or involved with unconventional activities of some kind, or you're involved with unconventional people in those activities, or they're visiting you, or you're involved with them in some way. Perhaps it's a creative project, or perhaps it's people that your children are associated with. But these people or these activities are exotic, a bit eccentric. The people may be cutting edge from a technology point of view as well. You may also be mastering something new, whether this is a new technology or a new activity. So it's mastering something new. You could also you will have also the support of friends and friendly alliances in certain ways. So these will be supportive of your goals. So whatever your goals are in the fifth house, this is a very social aspect, and they will support you at this time. But it is, as I said, really about glimpsing the future and mastering technology and new things. That all comes in with this card. Then in the 6th house, we have solar eclipse revolution. So your 6th house is your house of work projects, work colleagues, workplace, your daily routines around that. It's also it covers, it's the house of pets, and it's also the house of health and diet. So now I feel with this, probably it's associated with making changes, or changes will be coming for you in some way. So there is a revolution of some kind. So you're going to be going through a change or an upheaval. More than likely it will be swift, a swift ending and then a beginning of some kind. It could also be the change of lifestyle that you're currently living. Something better you need to change it up in some way, really, quite dramatically, in order to give yourself look after your health and have a better lifestyle. It could be that related to that as well, or it could be work related. If you're not in a workplace and you work for yourself, it's mastery of your craft. That is the 6th house as well. But there's going to be some kind of revolution going on, some kind of change. But it's more than likely will be swift. It's a kind of a jolt, really. And the jolt is to move you out of what is familiar to you, out of that and into new terrain. And you will feel uncomfortable in this rearrangement going on. You will feel uncomfortable and really not sure what's going on until you start to find your feet. But that shift and upheaval is necessary. It's a necessary change coming in for you. So once you've been through it, you will see that whatever was changed and removed or fell away was necessary for it to go, because it was holding you back in some way. Okay, so you may also be required to dive in to fix or change something. And by doing that, by taking action, you will create something much better. So don't be afraid to do that. Self-mastery comes in with this, because what you're doing is you're going through a changing circumstance where nothing is familiar. What you've counted on falls away, and now you've really got to be resourceful and go after what you want to do, and really weather that whole phase. And while you're doing that, you're gaining self-mastery. You're gaining self-mastery of yourself, what it is you're doing, what's happening in this house for you. You may also be breaking old patterns. Perhaps you've been stuck in a rut and a routine, doing the same job repeatedly over and over, bored out of your mind, but just doing it anyway because it earns an income. Well, this card comes along, this energy comes along, and everything shifts. And now you've got to break that old pattern and move forward. So dive in, fix or change something, make it better. And just stay present throughout the whole process as well, because it forces you to do that. As I said, it could also be a change of lifestyle, massive change of lifestyle for you, to bring you better health, better diet, better nutrition, whatever it is that's coming in for you. But it's also about looking after yourself as well.